And I think the message of putting yourself out there is really important for us to say, because I think when you get super into the law of attraction and manifestation, you can get brainwashed into thinking you're such a magnet that you no longer need to leave your house, put yourself out there, like take action. You're just like, oh, everything will come to me. Why would I have to put myself out there? And it's like, no, you have to co create with the universe. You got to put yourself in the right place at the right time. And that's going to involve putting yourself out
Yeah.
there in whatever way that opportunity is showing up for you in your life right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to one of your favorite podcasts, High Vibin It. My
No,
name,
the only favorite podcast. No,
you're
just
only,
kidding.
you're
Just
not
kidding. Just
allowed to
kidding.
like any other podcast. High
Just
Vibin
kidding.
It. We
Says
got
me
your
who alternates
homegirls.
between like 4 podcasts myself.
I mean, I freaking love podcasts. I listen to so many good ones.
You know what though? I only listen to history.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And
only listen
ours.
to
History
self-help
and ours.
and
Yeah.
like
Anyway,
science and
Lindsay and Kelsey
wellness.
here.
Lindsay
I've
and
already
Kelsey here.
derailed us. See how this
Yes.
goes?
Yeah, that was pretty fast today.
If you're new here, welcome, welcome. We talk about high vibe stuff, empowerment, self-love, manifesting, all the things. We have experts sometimes, and sometimes we go solo like today, because we complement each other so well.
Yeah. Tell the people what you do in case they're new to our world.
Well, Lindsay, that's me, Lindsay Robinson. I don't know why. I like purposely want to go weird with it. Why do I do that? I am a hypnotherapist. I help people rewire their minds for success, love, confidence, money, whatever it is that they want, spiritual enhancement. I help you kind of train your brain to believe what you want it to believe in a way that feels good and is for your highest good. Kelsey, what do you do?
Thanks for asking, Lindsay. Since you want to make it weird, we can be like
Super weird.
newscasters. My name's Kelsey Aida. I am a transformation facilitator. I help people to manifest their desires and love themselves radically through the process. I host retreats. I write best-selling books. I've written many books on manifestation, affirmations, self-love, things of that nature, things that we talk about on the show. So welcome to our world. We're super excited to have you here. And if you are a repeat listener, we love you so much and welcome back. Today's
Yeah.
episode, I think you guys will really appreciate. It's something that Lindsay and I are currently both in our own way going through. So I figured if both of us are kind of going through this, probably a bunch of people listening are
Yeah.
also experiencing this. So really, we just want this episode to be a sign from the universe, from God, from your higher self, from your angels, from us to go for the things that you want in life and put yourself out there, even if it's a little bit scary, a little bit frightening, a little bit uncomfortable, because life is short and you deserve to experience what you want to experience, do what you want to do, have what you want to have, and live your best life. So today's episode is all about just putting yourself out there in dating, in business, in life, in any way that is appropriate for you.
Boom.
Mic drop. And that's the whole episode. Go do it. Have fun. Good luck.
I mean, this year definitely I've been feeling that energy of like new, 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 new. And when you hear or feel that kind of energy coming into your life, or you see a lot of people talking about it and you feel like it's your sign, it can feel scary. Even if you know that that's the next step, it feels scary because new is always something. The reason it's new is because you've never experienced it. And so that can always be scary. And new for me this year is like acting on those things that I've been hearing a lot. Get out there, be on your method of communication must be audio, video. You must put your face in the world. And I'm just like, but really though? Like, is there no other way to do this?
So to give some context for those of you who
No,
don't
no,
know
no
us
context is needed.
intimately,
Come on, no, don't do that.
Lindsay doesn't love to be in the spotlight, even though she's great at it and she's beautiful and she has so much great stuff to say. She's never liked it. I literally had to convince her to do this show with me. So that's a fun fact about the show.
Yeah, I got approached to be like, do you want to do a radio show? At the time it was radio. And I was like, immediately my body like failed me. And I was like, went into panic mode. And then I said, like, I had this little tiny thought of like, what if you could have a co-host? I immediately thought of Kelsey, immediately, because she is the more you know, she does this so much better than me. But I called her and I was like, what do you think? And she didn't even let me finish the sentence. And she's like, stop it. We're doing it. No, 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 no. We're doing it. We're doing it. So I'm glad, you know, but it's not really something that, you know, if she wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be doing it. If, you know, so thanks, Kels. But it's one of those things. I don't enjoy it, but I don't really know what I'm afraid of. And I think a lot of people can hear that and feel that and understand that. Like you don't really know what you're afraid of. And even if you do know, you don't want to be afraid of those things because they're silly, right? They're so silly. Who cares? At the end of the day, there's no saber-tooth tiger that's going to eat me. So who cares? I'm just talking in front of people who also can talk.
Yeah, and it just points to the distinction that's really beneficial to make in your mind of just because I feel scared doesn't mean there's actually a
Yeah.
threat here. Doesn't mean I need to feel scared. Doesn't mean there's something that I should be in fear of. You're always
Yeah.
going to have fear when you do something new or do something uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean you have to stop yourself from doing it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means get uncomfortable. If it's
It means
something
get
you,
uncomfortable.
yeah, if it's something that's in your best interest, just suffer a little in the beginning so you can have the payoff at the end. Suffering meaning like be uncomfortable for a little, like you'll make it through. I promise.
And it's one of those things that I don't really say it a lot, but in this situation of like, I know I'm scared to do it, but it's going to be expansive and it's going to be fine. And it's something that I know I want to do. I just am letting this fear hold me back. Do it anyway. Like, that's the only time I will say, do it anyway. Because I'm a huge advocate for like, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Why are we still doing things that we feel like we have to do for whatever reason, except for this? Because you know that you won't regret doing it.
Well, and here's the thing with that with that general guideline of don't do things that don't feel good, in the grand scheme, I would say yes. Like on a macro level, don't dedicate your life to things that you don't like. But like on a micro level, no matter how in alignment you are, no matter how much you're following your dreams, no matter how much you're going for your highest excitement, there will always be contrast. So there's always
Yeah.
going to be elements of it that you probably don't like or aren't super fun. So for example, even if you're in the best relationship for you possible, like you're probably still going to get into arguments sometimes and you're probably going to misunderstand each other and you're probably going to miss the mark and you're going to go through seasons and like no relationship is perfect in the same way that your dream job or your dream home, no matter how perfect it is for you, there's going to be elements of it that need fixing, people there that you don't like, you know, there's always going to be contrast no matter how perfect you create your life. So also
And if you're,
knowing that, I think that changes it so you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm doing this one little task today that I don't like, maybe I shouldn't do it, and then it stops you from going for it.
well, here's the thing. What happens when we do it anyway? And this is, I'm specifically talking about things that you know will be a good thing in the long run. Things that you know you want to do, but you know the fear is holding you back. When I say do it anyway, what happens when you do it anyway? You expand, right? You learn, you grow, you stretch, you in ways that you can't otherwise. If you shy away and don't do stuff that you don't want to do just because it doesn't feel good, as a blanket statement, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea because you won't be growing. What are we doing here if you're not growing or expanding or learning or, you know, whatever? So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of value in just do it, you know. But if you're doing it to please people, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and we all know what those are, then I would say, yeah, stay far, far away from that. It's 2023. Ain't nobody got time for that anymore. It's 2023, and then next year
Yes.
it's 2024. Nobody's got time for that anymore.
Whenever you listen to this, nobody has time for it.
No one's
Okay.
got
No matter what
time.
year you're listening.
Yeah.
So, to circle back around to our example of the podcast, wouldn't
Yeah.
you say now, in hindsight, that you're glad that you put yourself out there?
Yes. But I'm surprised about why for myself because, well, let me ask you first. Why are you happy that we did it? Tell me.
I love helping people. I love when we get feedback from people. I love listening back to the episodes and hearing how medicinal and awesome and empowering and funny they are. I love the actual recording of every episode. I like publishing the episodes. Like almost everything about it to me just like gives me life because I know I'm contributing, I'm sharing my unique perspectives, we're making cool friends every week, connecting to all these guests. There's so many reasons.
So many reasons.
So
My
many.
reason is I'm not scared anymore.
That's big.
All of your reasons, but the first, yes, of course, I do what I do to help people and to actually give them that light bulb moment that I so appreciate and value in my own life. And if I can offer that to just one person, then yeah, that's it. But also, I'm not as scared as I was. I was terrified to do the first episode, and that was live, and it was, I know I messed up so many things, but I mean, who cares at this point? Please don't go back and listen to it though, guys. Like
Sometimes people are like, oh
no.
yeah, I started listening to your podcast. Like I started from the beginning and I'm like, don't start from the beginning.
Don't start there.
Start from the
Gosh.
end. Just start from the end.
No,
Go
you know
backwards.
what? It's never as bad as you think it is. And I think that's an important point to make about whatever you're doing to put yourself out there. You are always going to think that it is more embarrassing, that you messed up more than you actually did, that people are staring at you and they're probably not, that people are
Right.
judging you and they're almost never judging you. One thing I learned about public speaking when I had to learn how to do that was, can you believe it? I did public speaking and I still and like hate it. It's okay to do stuff and still not like it, but I was doing public speaking, and one of the things that really hit home was the instructor said, nobody wants you to fail. No one in this audience is rooting for you to stutter or mess up or trip. Like they want you to succeed. And it's not like I just never considered it. We always assume, right, that we're being judged or that people are, wanting us they want something to laugh at, but it's just not true. And think about it for yourself, lovely people listening. If you're sitting in an audience watching somebody struggle or watching somebody like that, is nervous to speak, are you hoping that they mess up? Heck no, I hope not. I hope not doing that. And usually the average human is just like, oh, like has compassion for somebody that's going through that. So it really helped to hear that. Like nobody's rooting for you to fail. And if they are, like, they're not your people anyway.
Yeah.
They're not who you're trying to talk to.
And I think the message of putting yourself out there is really important for us to say, because I think when you get super into the law of attraction and manifestation, you can get brainwashed into thinking you're such a magnet that you no longer need to leave your house, put yourself out there, like take action. You're just like, oh, everything will come to me. Why would I have to put myself out there? And it's like, no, you have to co create with the universe. You got to put yourself in the right place at the right time. And that's going to involve putting yourself out
Yeah.
there in whatever way that opportunity is showing up for you in your life right now. And 2023, as I said a couple podcast episodes back, the energies are ripe for following your passion and going for it in a bigger, better, more awesome way than you ever have before. The energies of 2023 really want you to line up with your values and your passions and things that light you up. So if you really want to meet that person, like put yourself out there in dating. If you really want to go for that job or that new career path, like apply, like do it, like create the business. If you really want to, whatever, insert XYZ desire, this is a brilliant, perfect, energetically ripe time for you to do so. Even
And
more, especially way more than the last couple of years were.
that's how I've been feeling. And it's, yeah, I can't explain it, because if you ask me in 2022, how does this year feel? It didn't feel any type of way. I mean, it was harder than the year before, for sure, but I assumed it was for so many outside reasons rather than it just being the year. But then I can't really explain it, but we stepped into 2023 and I was like, I immediately felt lighter. And I don't know if anybody else had felt that, but I felt like a weight was lifted. And don't get me wrong, I'm 100% subscribed to the belief that the new year does not start on January 1st. It starts in the spring, y'all. But just for the purpose of like the new year energy, we as a collective understand this to be a new year. And so I think that has some power behind it as well. The energy is different on January 1st. Anyway, so I instantly felt like a weight was lifted, and I'm still feeling that way. I feel like there's possibilities, like the doors are opening and it's sparkly and it's nice. And it's like you don't feel the contrast until you do. You don't know what light is until you feel the darkness. You don't know what day is until you feel night. And that's kind of how I felt going
Yeah.
into this year is like, oh, that's why I felt so crappy in 2022. That's why it was so hard. Because this year it feels
2022
so
had a
great.
lot of challenging energy to
It
it for the
did. It really
purpose
did.
of helping us to overcome things or giving us more clarity or giving more contrast that will lead to like what you actually want. Like 2022 was a lot heavier and a lot more challenging. So that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I'm super excited for 2023. Exciting time to be alive and put yourself out there in whatever form you are feeling called to do.
Yes.
And on that note, I want to take a quick pause to introduce you guys to our new sponsor, Magic Mind. Oh my gosh, this little baby drink. It's like a little shot glass of awesomeness. And it is just, I don't even know how to explain it. It gives you a little bit of energy, a lot of focus without the crash. And it tastes
Yeah.
delicious and it doesn't make you pee a bunch like when you have to drink a lot of coffee or a lot of tea because it's just a little shot, which is worth mentioning because I have a small bladder. So
I don't know why she insists on talking about pee, you guys, but
because not everyone wants to pee all the time, all the coffee and all the tea. So like
how
Magic
are you
Mind
going to
is great
handle?
for that purpose.
Okay. Yes, you're right. And I don't have that problem unless I'm pregnant, but I will say that I can drink it with coffee, and that is actually one of my main pulls to it because I saw right on the bottle like enjoy this with your normal caffeine routine, and I was like, "Oh, snap." Because normally they tell you like here's how to replace your coffee, and I don't really like that. So I'm glad that I can drink it with my normal morning routine. And for me, it really just adds like a sharpness, a focus, which in turn gives me more productivity. So this is an amazing, it really is really, you've heard us talk about this before probably, and I will double down on it. It is actually fantastic. It has adaptogens and nootropics and what is that thing called, ashwagandha, that lowers your stress. Like it's got so many good ingredients in it that
Yes.
I would buy separately. Like I would buy, I think I have ashwagandha like capsules, but you get it all in one cute little bottle.
Right.
Vitamins.
If you were going to buy all the ingredients separate and make it, it would be so expensive and you'd have to take
Yeah.
so many pills, so many herbs, mix so much stuff. But it's really great. It's got matcha, like she said, adaptogens, nootropics, immunity boosting, like vitamin C,
Honey. It's
vitamin
got
D,
honey.
echinacea. I mean, it's awesome. So
It's
it
so
tastes
good, you
great.
guys.
It works great. If you guys want to get more focused, have more energy this year, we highly recommend just go to magicmind.co. Of course, we have a coupon code for you guys. It's High Vibin 20. That's High Vibin 20 at magicmind.co. And I did drink mine today. So
Yes.
yeah, moving on. Back to
Me
putting
too.
yourself out there. Um, I kind of want to talk about like your TikTok situation and then I
Okay.
can talk about like how I've been putting myself out there. Even though it's
Yeah,
kind of a secret project that I can't say too much about, but I can tease at it and talk about how it relates to the theme.
definitely. Let's do it.
So, tell the peeps what happened to you. Was it this week or last week?
Um, it was, I don't know, it was probably, I want to say it's been a week. It's probably been a lot longer than that. But I basically put a video. Okay, so I am not on TikTok that often. At least I had not been on TikTok that often. So this was on the 6th of January. So that was like 11 days, almost 2 weeks. I was scrolling through. I don't really post because I don't know. I just don't. I don't know why. So I was scrolling through, just looking at cool stuff, things on my free page, and then all of a sudden, this video popped up of this woman who was watching this show with her husband. It was about reincarnation, and she started talking about it, and I got like so excited, and I just hit record, and I started talking about it, and it just kind of, for me, what in my concept of viral, it went viral, and it's got like
It
almost
went
500.
viral. I would say objectively, it went viral.
It's it's got like 500,000 views and people are reaching out and people are filling my calendar and they're commenting and they're talking and they're directing all their attention at my video and I found myself very quickly overwhelmed and very quickly wanting to respond to every single comment and educate and defend and say and do all of these things that were taking me away from the idea that I really just wanted to post it because I really like the topic and I know about this topic. I work with this topic and I want to talk about my clients and I want to talk about their experiences and past lives. And I found myself kind of getting very overwhelmed quickly. And Kelsey was really good about helping me with that yesterday, actually.
We're always
Yeah.
coaching each other through life. It's great. It's
Yeah.
great when you
Yeah.
have a best friend who like actually knows what they're doing and can
Yeah.
really help you through stuff. So
Yeah. So she's really good when I need to be more
less freaking out.
bulldoggy, like
More
take charge
confident.
more confident. Yeah. I'd like to think that I don't know why. It's just I feel extremely vulnerable when it comes to getting personal. It's easy for me to talk about hypnosis. It's easy for me to talk about how I can help you do the thing, right? But when I'm talking about something that actually excites me and makes me happy and something that I deeply deeply believe in, it's freaky, man.
Yeah. So
It's super
basically,
freaky.
she put herself out there, it blew up,
It went pretty
and now
well.
she's feeling really exposed, really vulnerable, which is totally normal and understandable. And so, we were just talking her off the ledge yesterday when she was freaking out, like, which is like a normal, normal reaction to have when you just like blow up out of nowhere. And I
Yeah.
think something that I said to you that really helped was like, you know, putting yourself out there, like people are going to love you or hate you no matter what you're saying. So you might as
Yes.
well just like say
Because
your truth and talk about what you're excited to talk about.
yes, and this yeah, that reminds me. So I was very uncomfortable and like I wanted to immediately go back into a turtle shell when I saw, I don't know, one comment that was like talking negatively about reincarnation and like it's all nonsense, whatever, whatever. And I was just like, wait, how can somebody take something like this and hate on it like so hard, like take time out of their day? But that's what people do. And I just never, I've watched people do it to other people. But for some reason, when it was directed at one of my posts, I was like, oh God, I have to get on. I have to tell people that don't believe it. And, I have to like defend this, but I don't. And I didn't respond. And Kelsey was very right. Just do what you got to do to cleanse your page and your post because it is mine and I'm allowed to say who can comment and who can't comment and I'm allowed to have the kind of energy that I want. And I think that's a good message for everybody. If somebody's commenting or giving you filth or negative vibes on your page or on your posts, like get rid of it. It feels nice. And
Yeah.
Kelsey does it too.
It's your online real estate. I
Yeah.
mean, not technically because like all your content's owned by like all the companies that you post them on, but
Yeah.
theoretically, it's your space, it's your video. It's if you don't want to comment there, just delete it. I like deleting negative comments and blocking them because I'm like, bye bye, haters. Don't have
Yeah.
time, don't have the energy. Because you know
Yeah.
why? Life is too short. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you're for, no matter what you're against, there's always going to be people from the opposite side coming at
Yeah.
you, getting upset about it. And I feel like as long as your intention is pure and good and you're not trying to upset people, then you're good. Move on. Don't let the haters get you down?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So that helped.
yeah. Good job putting
Um,
yourself out there. Proud of you, friend.
Thanks, girl.
Do you want me
Yeah,
to share?
it's what?
Oh, I was just going to say, do you want me to share my story next?
Yeah,
What were
go
you
for
going to
it.
say?
I was just gonna say it's still like every time I pick up my phone and I travel over there and I see all the notifications, I'm still, I don't know if other people do this, but I'm like wanting to look, but also not wanting to look at all. So it is still a journey. I hope to be better in the future, but I am going to keep posting on TikTok because I've seen that there is a huge interest. At the very least, there's a huge interest in what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to go follow me, it's Lindsay Robinson. Same with my Instagram. But yeah, anyway, it's a journey, guys. Let's hear yours, Kels.
Yeah. Follow us on social media at Kelsey
Yeah,
Aida, at Lindsay Robinson. It's just our
just our names
names.
couldn't get easier.
Simple, simple, simple. So, yeah. So for me, okay. So let me just give a little background. So I've been self employed pretty much my whole working adulthood. My parents were both self employed most of the time. I think pretty much all the time. So I come from a lineage of entrepreneurs, my grandparents too. And I've just always been conditioned or trained that like luckily that self-employment can be cool, you can have freedom, it's fun, you can potentially make more money, blah blah blah. Lindsay knows, she's also self-employed. But lately I've been having this urge to be a true business owner, because right now I own my businesses technically, like my online business and the coaching services and the retreats and the books, like that's all me, except I don't really own the business. I more so own the job, because like no one else can run it for me, right? It's my name, it's my brand, it's my teachings, it's my medicine. Like I can't sell kelseyaida.com and like sell the business, right? So technically it's like a job for me, which is fine. I love it. And then also I'm still doing hair 1 day a week, which I went to cosmetology school to be a cosmetologist. So that's something that I'm still doing here and there as like a side thing, even though this is more my main spiel now. But even in that, like I own a job, right? I have to show up to the salon. No one else is going to do my client's hair for me. Like that's how I get paid. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. So lately I've been having this urge, this expansion, this desire to truly own a business, right? Not to own my own job, to own my own business. So I'm creating a secret business that I cannot say what it is yet, but I will share.
Are you going to tell me like off the
Yeah, I
air?
can tell you later.
Do I already know?
I don't think so. It's
Okay.
kind of a newer development. But needless to say, I'm definitely going to be putting myself out there. I'm trying to get a business loan, a huge business loan for the first time. I've never done anything like that. And it's definitely nerve wracking. I might have to use my house as collateral. Like, this is some serious like business building.
This is grown up stuff.
Yeah, this is like real entrepreneurial grown up biz, which I'm so excited about. And luckily, I'm just someone who has a lot of natural confidence from going for it all my life. Like I'm one of those people that have an idea and I do it. And whether or not it works or not, I build the confidence in myself that like I can do it. I'm learning how to do it. I'm going for it. So without saying too much, that's something that I'm working on in 2023. And it's like so nerve-wracking, but also super exciting. And hopefully it just inspires other people out there who want to go for it and put themselves out there to do it.
I love it.
Because why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? I lose my house and I have to move to a smaller one. Who cares? It's just a house. Like for me, going to the worst case scenario sometimes makes me feel better. But if you're like one of those anxiety spiraling people, maybe that's not the question for you.
Well, I like this question too. Is there a world where you're ever going to regret doing it? Probably not. Is there a world where you'll regret not doing it? Yes, definitely.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Another example. This is very relevant to the example you just gave. So I bought a gorgeous wedding dress for my wedding in May. And then last minute recently, I decided I wanted a second dress for later in the evening. And I already spent like what I planned on spending for all my outfits in the one dress, because that was like the dress. I was going to wear it the whole time. And then I changed my mind and I was like, I really want a second dress. And of course, everyone was trying to talk me out of it. Like, oh, like it's going to be more money. Like you don't need a second dress, blah, blah, blah. But then I just thought to myself, like, what am I going to regret more? Splurging on the second dress or never having gotten one when I really wanted one? And you only get married once. So I said, fuck it. I'm getting a second dress. I get everything that I want. Woo! And then I did it.
Wait, so why are you getting a second dress?
Because I had technically 2 bridal looks. Well, I have like multiple bridal looks in
like
my
one
fantasy.
for the reception?
Yes. And I just can't execute all my bridal dreams with one look. I need at least one outfit change.
This is going to be such a fun wedding. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
And
I have yet to try on my bridesmaid's dress. I will do it soon. I'm assuming it fits. It's probably fun.
Send selfies. I can't wait. But yeah, basically all that to say, go for your dreams. And if you can do it, do it. Like it was in my, basically, how am I trying to say this? I'm so tongue-tied today. I have enough money in my budget to get a second dress. I just didn't want to because everyone was advising me not to, right? Because they were like, oh, you already used your dress budget, even though I had extra from other stuff. So I was like, fuck it. If I can do it, I'm going to do it. So if you can do it, or even if you feel like you can't do it, find out a way that you can and put yourself out there and go for it in 2023. This is the time.
Because why not?
Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And what was Lindsay's question? Say it again.
Is there a world where you'll regret not doing it versus doing it?
Yeah. Usually they say that people on their deathbeds or like really old people will talk about the things that they didn't do as much
Mm-hmm.
more regretful than the things they did do. Usually we
Mm-hmm.
don't regret the things we go for, even if it doesn't work out. We're just happy that we went for it and we tried. Hey there. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far, but if you want to listen to the whole thing, we're going to invite you over to our podcast. Either search for High Vibin It on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you guys listen to podcasts, or even better, if you want to watch the extended video version of this episode that's even longer than the actual podcast itself, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/highvibe. Lindsay, tell them what's awesome about the Patreon.
Patreon is where we have all of our extended episodes. As Kelsey said, we have it on video so you can actually see the things that we're talking about. Sometimes we have visual aids, and it's nice to know what we're talking about. We also have hangouts that we do sometimes that are exclusive to Patreon people. And you can get started with all of this and bonus content and everything that we have only for the Patreon people for as little as $3. I think it's $3.33 a month. And that's it. And you guys can get all the benefits and all access to everything that we put in there. Really
Yeah.
cool.
It's really cool, really fun, super easy to join. And you guys don't even have to do that to finish this episode. If you're like, screw it, I don't want to pay any money, I just want to hear the rest of this episode, go to our podcast, High Vibin It, search for it wherever you listen. It's totally free. Either way, enjoy the rest of the show wherever you choose to enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week because we do a new one every week. Adios.
Bye.